Well, first, I mean, focusing on this last week or this win here against Carolina, yeah, one of the bigger things I was mentioning was paying attention to that third down conversion on both offense and defense. And as we saw heading into the game, Carolina was converting, but also giving up 50% of all third down conversions. And the Bears offense and defense was about 33%. So, knowing that and seeing that going into the game, the Bears actually came out of it 7 for 14 on third down. So the Bears converted 50% on offense, which pretty good for what this team is on offense, right? And then on defense, I think they stopped them 3 out of 13 times or something like that. So it was only about a 20 something percent conversion for Carolina on third downs, and that played a big part in it. But also, big shout out to the Bears special teams because, hey, we had a kicker make all three of his kicks. One was a 55-yarder, which, we as Bears fans all feel, that tinge of anxiety when a kicker lines up. So
I've
props
never
to Kairos
celebrated.
Santos.
I've never celebrated a
That,
55-yard field goal like that before. I'm just like, wait, what just happened?
no,
What just
right.
happened? That was amazing.
Yeah, and I mean, Pat O'Donnell had like one beautiful punt that was downed inside the 5 and had a couple inside the 20. So I mean, all around a pretty good performance on special teams. Defense, as we've said, was very good as well, generating a lot of pressure. Getting some of those impact plays as well on defense, obviously with some of the interceptions, and then the offense. It's the play calling sometimes is still not what it needs to be. And as we've seen, that injury to James Daniel kind of hurts because, the offensive line wasn't great or wasn't a strong point heading into this game and into the season. It was competent, but now, you lose your starter and one of your more promising ones at that, has been an issue. And then couple that with the Monty thing. So, definitely some things on offense to improve, but now looking forward to these next few weeks. And I mean, I see what you're saying with some of these, how many wins did the Bears, the teams that the Bears faced, how many wins do they have? But I would direct you to look at how the Bears haven't played,
Oh,
anyone
whoa, 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 whoa.
necessarily.
Don't
What's that?
don't outstat me with another stat. No, 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 no. We're not doing that.
All right. Well, because I was
No.
going to say, out of our next 6 weeks here, from the Bears' standpoint, there and one of them being a bye week, 4 of those 5 then weeks, we'll say, are against teams that are ranked 10 or better in the latest power ranking.
Okay.
So we're about to see what the Bears are actually made of here against the good
Yeah,
teams and put that
that's what I'm
narrative to
saying.
bed, or it's going to be
Exactly.
like, here, eat it and wear it.
Okay.
Yeah,
So, those
this.
next coming weeks, 4 top 10 teams, as of today. So,
Yeah, DGB. We had said going into one of the things the Bears defense needs to do is contain Teddy, and they held Teddy to the worst game he's had this season. And really, he was trying to make plays happen because Teddy, he wasn't. His legs aren't what he used to, so he wasn't using them as much. He was trying to force his way to use his legs, and he couldn't. So, from the defense perspective, for them shutting down the way they did and stepping up is huge. It's massive. And going to that power ranking, when you look at all those teams that are up there, the reason why they're up there is because they have a quarterback. That's the plain and simple. That's the only thing. Nick, we know what we're getting with Nick. We know what it is. And all those other teams, they got a quarterback that they can say, this is my franchise QB. We don't. We know this is a rental until we can get somebody in here that we know it's the future and go from there. And it's scary to think about, right? When we have a rental quarterback that it's funny when you hear the announcers talking about him, right? They were giving him so much praise within the first quarter and a half. All of a sudden, turned down to, well, this is what you get with Foles. He's inconsistent. I'm like, man, they flipped the switch on him real quick. So when you look at it for what it is, like these next 4 weeks are so pivotal for them that they're going to have to really step up and find a good quarterback. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, no. So those teams
Pretty
you're talking
simple.
about, that's ahead of us inside the power ranking. So we're number 11. ESPN just released theirs. I call it the trash because you got the Green Bay Packers at 6, but you got the Rams at 10, Saints at 9, who are 3-2. The Saints are 3-2. How are they number 9? I don't understand this.
You got Kamara. You got Kamara and Michael
yeah.
Thomas.
And yeah, Michael Thomas now coming back kind of gives a little leeway up to this point.
All right, whatever. You guys are seeing two different stories here. You guys are playing storylines. I'm playing fact. All right. You got the Bills at 8, 4-2. Okay, whatever. Tampa Bay at 4-2. We beat them. We literally just beat them. And then you got the Green Bay Packers at 4-1 at 6. They just got beat by the Bucks badly. I just don't understand this. Tennessee Titans 5-0 at 5. Baltimore Ravens 5-1 at 4. Pittsburgh 5-0. Kansas City 5-1, and the Seahawks 5-0. Those are the top teams I don't have. Well, we should at least crack the top 10. That's just my problem with it. The reason why I'm going so hard for this and trying to campaign for this before week, 7 starts, is because those L's are going to start piling up. I want to celebrate us being recognized. I want some type of recognition. I mean, we still call that bum-ass team we saw last night America's team for some reason. They get all the recognition in the world. They get all the spotlight in the world. Considering
how America has looked for 2020, that pretty much summed up how they looked last night. So, I mean, it's dead on. It is America's team.
Man, I'll say one thing about the power ranking part, and it's like when you look at those teams, right, that are ahead of the Bears, all of them definitely have those quarterbacks that they rely on, and then they also have a running game. You know, the only one that's a little bit more on the Bears level in terms of not like firing on all cylinders is the Bills, but Josh Allen kind of helps alleviate some of that too. But if you take a look at those teams, they all have competent running backs. And I say competent, but some of them are very, very good. You know, and it's like that's the thing that scares me going into these next few games here. As a Bears fan, is the lack of the run game, and that, you know, not being able to do that, and then how that limits, you know, the options that Nick Foles has, you know, as he goes to throw it, you know, and against, some of these better teams that have offensives that will put up 30 points, you know, on even a very good defense. Right. You know, the talent level on some of those teams is just there for that. Right. So, I mean, the Bears, it's, you know, it's going to be interesting, but I just wish there was something they could do to get a little bit more well-rounded to figure out that run game just to help themselves out a little bit.
Yeah, hell of a game. Or no, hell of a game. Hell of a test for our defense coming up. Hell of a test. They showed out yesterday. They were great. They had like 4 sacks. Khalil Mack was great. Bilal Nichols was great.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone was
2
great.
picks.
Yeah, the 2 picks was like that was amazing to see.
Possibly third, but that one didn't get called back.
Jalen Johnson had a couple pass deflections, like he was looking good. Even though he had a
little of both, but he's a rookie.
Yeah, exactly. Know? But they were targeting him like the most. So
no one wants any of Kyle Fuller.
Exactly.
Nope.
Exactly. So the defense, super tough test coming up. But if it's any more that I want going into that, it's the Bears defense. So. I have full confidence and full faith in them, and they just picked up Manti Te'o, which that's going to take us over the numbers.
It's like just keep gifting our defense, man. Like I'll take it. They'll carry us to some type of Super Bowl or play.
Hey, but I mean, speaking of practice squad people, we mentioned Lamar Miller on the practice squad. If there's anything left somewhere in that tank of his injury-riddled career, if you can at least look like a Le'Veon Bell on the Jets, you know, I'll take it.
Not even. I'd say like been lowered. Let's take it a little lower, like David Johnson, maybe like type talent. Even just stay healthy. I'll take that.
Listen, I mean, you're stretching. We're talking about a guy that hasn't really been played a full game since 2018, I believe. Right. So that's a stretch.
All right.
True.
The refs. The referees. Why do they hate the Bears? We're 3rd in penalties this year, and we don't get the benefit of the doubt. You got Khalil Mack, who's not getting any holding penalties ever. Like, the man don't complain. That's one of the things I love about Khalil Mack. He's just like, I'm gonna work hard. I'm gonna get mine or whatever. I'm just gonna destroy. But man, like, flail, like, complain, do something, get some of these holding calls. Like, these are the games online. Like, we're not getting any penalties in our favor. Like, every time Kyle Fuller goes to pop someone, like, the refs are ready. They're ready to throw a flag, just ready to go. So I don't know. These refs, I know that we got the Saints coming up in a couple weeks, and we just talked about that. And they're the number one team.
They've been undisciplined.
That's gonna be interesting, that game. That's just gonna be just yellow flags all over the place. But